Hi everyone, welcome to Life is Writable. My name is Melissa and today I'm going to be starting a new series called New Release Reviews, where I'm going to choose at least one or two new releases every month and I'm going to review them for you. I have never been super awesome at doing reviews, so I want to get the practice because I like reviews. I think they're awesome. I love to hear what other people have to say about new books, old books, their favorite books, their books that they hate. So I thought this would be a fun thing to do continuously. And I figured, since I just read a new release that I am in love with, I'm so obsessed with, figured I would start with that one. So today I'm going to be reviewing Love Letters to the Dead by Ava Delara. This book is so good. It is so good. I love it. It was actually blurbed by Stephen Chbosky, and it says, I simply love this book. Love Letters to the Dead is more than a stunning debut. It is the announcement of a bold new literary voice. And I think that is pretty accurate because the writing in this book is stunning. It's so rich and so vivid and so beautiful, and she managed to take a writing technique such as epistolary novels and kind of turn it on its head. And I haven't read anything like this before. It is very reminiscent of Perks of Being a Wallflower, but it is a completely different novel, and I think that anybody who's a fan of that book would like this one as well. And if you trust Stephen Chbosky's word, then he will steer you in the right direction. For this first new release review, I figured what better way to kick it off than do a giveaway. So at the end of this video, I am going to talk about that giveaway, which is going to feature Love Letters to the Dead and The Perks of Being a Wallflower, and one lucky winner will win both of these. So more details at the end of this video, and let's get started. So I was really excited to read this book. I picked it up on its release date on my Nook, April 1st, and I flew through it. So just a quick summary. Love Letters to the Dead focuses on a 15-year-old girl, Laurel, whose sister May recently died very tragically. May was like the shining light in Laurel's world. She looked up to her so much and kind of based a lot of her life around her. And when she was gone, Laurel was she just kind of disappeared within herself. And she decides that for her freshman year, she doesn't want to go to a school with a lot of people who know her story, so she transferred to a new district where her aunt lives. And her very first English assignment is to write a letter to any dead person. So she decides to write to one of May's favorite musicians, Kurt Cobain. And she doesn't end up sending in this letter. Instead, it kind of jumpstarts this like whirlwind of writing, and she starts writing to a vast number of celebrities, from Janis Joplin to Jimmy Morrison to Amelia Earhart and Judy Garland and Heath Ledger, and it's just kind of all over the place. And a lot of the celebrities seem really random, but one thing that kind of connects all of them is that they had a really hard time when they were young, and a lot of them died young. It was really well done. It was an interesting book starting off because it did kind of start off slow. And I was kind of wondering for a little while, maybe like a third of the book, believe it or not, whether or not this story technique was necessary, if this writing device was actually necessary. And because a lot of the times really Laurel just kind of talks about her own life to these dead celebrities, but as the story goes on and progresses, it's like every single person she writes to comes like together, and it's really fascinating how Delara manages to do this. And by the end of the book, you really understand Laurel's connection to these people and how they're actually kind of helping her cope with May's death. Also, I wasn't sure at first about Laurel as the main character. I had a little bit of trouble connecting with her at first, and this is another thing that this is one of those books you really need to read to the end. If you think it's a little slow at first, which I don't think too many people will have this problem, but if you think it's a little slow at first, just keep going because it all really comes full circle and it's actually really well done. And the thing with Laurel is she doesn't know who she is because she spent her entire life in her sister's shadow. And so when her sister's gone, she really just loses herself, maybe because she didn't even know who she was in the first place. So it does get really difficult to connect with Laurel because she really doesn't know who she is, and she actually has a lot of trouble being honest with herself, which is really interesting because she's writing to people who aren't alive anymore, and she's not sending these letters anyway. Nobody else is reading these letters other than her, yet she still has trouble opening up to these people, and it's really interesting. And since we're the reader, we are the ones she's really writing to, so we can't really get inside of her head until she starts to learn who she is, what it is about herself that she likes and thinks is important and worth it, really. And she really does, throughout this novel, find herself. And as the story progresses, we do really get to know Laurel as a main character, and I begin to really love her. She is a great she's a really interesting person, and she doesn't give herself enough credit because May was like this huge personality, all eyes on her, and Laurel was always in the background. And when she starts to realize that she actually has something to offer to the world, and she starts to give herself a little bit of credit, we do get to know her really well. We get right inside her brain and we understand her motivations, we understand how she's feeling, and it becomes really beautiful. And the fact that Delera was able to pull that off so well, so effectively, was really kind of amazing. And that's one of the reasons why this book ended up really resonating with me, because Laurel seemed like a real person. And I think every single character in this book felt like a real person. We have a pretty decent sized cast of characters. We have Laurel's new friends, Natalie and Hannah, who actually have been best friends for a long time, and they do kind of, you know, have a bit of a romantic connection with each other, and that story is a very significant part of this book. And then we have the boy that Laurel likes. His name's Sky, and he's kind of like a mysterious character. We don't really know who he is, and their relationship develops throughout, and we understand him more as a character, and we understand Laurel more as a character by the way that she interacts with him. And we have her mom and dad. Her dad is a really sweet guy who just kind of feels abandoned. He tries really hard for Laurel, but he's just kind of a little bit shut off. And then we have her mom, who moved away. She moved all the way to California as soon as May died. And Laurel has a really difficult relationship with her because she doesn't really trust her, because she also feels abandoned by her. And then we have Aunt Amy, who Laurel lives with every other week so that she can go to the new school in the new district. And Aunt Amy is kind of like a bit of a religious freak, and is very strict and likes to talk about God a lot and the presence of God in Laurel's life. And Laurel finds it kind of overwhelming sometimes, but she is a great character because she really, like, by the end of the book, like, because I feel like for a while she kind of seemed like a caricature for a while, and throughout the book she really just surprised me. Like, by the end of the book she surprised me, and she was another character that I thought was really well done. And we have two older students that come into Laurel's little group of friends, and completely blanking on their names, but they're Kristen, and what the hell's the guy's name? I don't know, but they're like older students that Laurel kind of looks up to, and they become a really important part of her life as well in completely different ways. And the characters, they really are well done, and I thought everybody had a really nice character arc. And I thought one thing that I thought was really cool is that Delera, including Laurel, Delera managed to kind of surprise us with each character. They weren't who we thought they were at our first impression, and that was really masterfully done. And I really do love reading that book. I'm probably going to reread it soon. It's probably going to be one of those books that I just like flip through and find little passages that I really like. Everything really does come full circle. Her flashbacks with May are really interesting, and their sisterly dynamic is really fascinating. And I love how Laurel uses the dead celebrities that she's writing to kind of almost talk to May in a way, because they all died young like May did. And it really does all come together in the end in a really beautiful way, and the end is really satisfying. So if you like beautiful writing and you like unique writing styles and you like stories about, you know, a little darker stories, then this is definitely going to be a book for you, and I highly recommend it. So before I get to the giveaway details, I thought I would read to you, give you a little taste of one of my favorite passages from the book. This was from a letter to River Phoenix, who was a childhood star who was in Stand By Me. I guess you know what it's like to fail someone, to fail everyone. River, you were a star so bright, one that people made wishes on, until you took so many drugs that you took your life. Do you think that everyone gets to be a star like that? Do you think that everyone gets to be seen, gets to be loved, gets to glow? They don't. They don't get to do it like you did. They don't get to be as beautiful as you were, and you just wanted to burn up. Yours, Laurel. And moving on to the giveaway, so I'm going to be giving away, again, Love Letters to the Dead by Ava DeLera, and The Perks of Being a Wallflower by Stephen Chbosky. I figured this would be a nice little duo because they're both epistolary novels, and Stephen Chbosky blurbed Love Letters to the Dead, and he's kind of like her mentor. All the rules are going to be below, but briefly, all you have to do to enter is you have to be subscribed to my channel, you have to like this video, and you have to just give a little comment below at why you would want to read this book, what you like about Perks of Being a Wallflower, anything like that. Just a comment with your 2 cents. And for extra entries, you can share anywhere on the internet. So you can share this video on Twitter, Tumblr, Facebook, anywhere. So just in a comment below, if you do those things, just leave a link or your username for each of those, and I will include each of those as an extra entry. So this is an international giveaway. You have to be 18 or older. You have to be 18 or older unless you have permission by a parent. You do have to give me your address, so be aware of that. And I will announce the winner in a video in 2 weeks. So this giveaway is going to be open for 2 weeks until 2 Thursdays from now. I don't know what day that is. That will be below. So if you're interested, definitely enter. These are really great books, and I highly recommend them to everybody. So it's not going to cost you anything, and it's not going to even be that much effort. So definitely enter. Just let me know what you liked about this review, or any criticism you have, what you would like to see in future reviews. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.